welcome to another video. Today I will teach you the third episode of my 3-part series, Fire Stuff. This will be a safety video on how to be safe with fire, what happens if something catches on fire, pretty much a lot of things I will cover. I might want to move somewhere nicer, or not nicer, my grandma's house is really nice. I'm filming what's it called? Hunting birds, pretty much. I think that's what it is. Hunting birds in Arizona right now, and I have to wait for the birds to come back. Anyways, you'll see in that video. I'm gonna edit second episode, upload third episode same day, and upload the second one. And yeah, I'm gonna turn this light on, and I'll see you when I'm all set up and ready to talk about fire safety. Okay, I think this works. Okay. Hello, this is Fire Stuff, and let's get on with what happens if you're doing a fire and something else catches on fire that's not supposed to get on fire. So, first thing you need to be aware of is obviously your surroundings. So what I mean is when you're doing a fire, you want to make sure that you have a designated fire pit. If you just go out in like a campground or even out wherever you're camping, sorry about that, you can't just start building a fire around trees or around dry bushes, any plant life. You need to, how you can do it safely is by getting some large stones or lots of small ones and building them in a ring about however big you want the fire to be. Now, it shouldn't be too big because your fire is going to be small in the middle, and that's when the embers are going to start coming, like a little bit after it's gotten up, because that's when all the smaller things get broken up and then they start flying in the air and they're still hot, and then they can catch trees on fire. So also be sure there's not a lot of dry trees up above that are hanging over really close. You want to have about like a 20-foot, 10-15-foot clearance, depending on how well the tree is alive. So I'd say like 10 foot, like 15 would be an alive tree that's pretty green, and like 20 to 30 if it's like really dead and you're in like forest. So if something else catches on fire that you're not aware of at the moment, it might spread. Well, it actually depends on what it is. Forget what I said for a second. If something else catches on fire, like for example like a bush nearby or some twigs on the ground that are near the fire, you need to put it out as fast as you can. Now, the quickest way to do it is water. So always keep a small bucket of water and a bucket of dirt near you. And so the fastest thing to do is splash some water on it. Because at the point that you're noticing that's going to catch on fire, it shouldn't be too big. If it's not that big, you can obviously stomp on it. But if it does get out of control, then that means that your fire pit wasn't contained enough. And so you need to add more dirt on top of the rocks or in between them, just so nothing will come out of it. Nothing as in like embers and stuff like that. Another thing is, when you're by the fire, don't be too close, because there's lots of instances where people's hair catches on fire and they're out in the middle of nowhere and they're like scalped. So hopefully that helps. Another thing is, if you're doing a fire at your house, you need to have a designated fire pit, and you can easily get one at like Home Depot. The one I got was like $45. But if you save up and you really want to like start getting into the hobby of like going out in nature and going camping and everything, it'd be a good idea, or even like having a barbecue, it'd be a good idea to get one. You can get a pretty cheap one for like $15, maybe even up to $30. that's cheap for something like a fire pit because you're going to use it for a long time. I've had mine for like 3 years now, and it's doing pretty good. It's going to rust because obviously the fire, and if you use water to put it out, even rain. But do not do fires indoor unless it's in a designated fireplace, not pit, because you're not going to have a fire pit in your house. Now, if it's a gas fire pit, or because I've seen some that are built in the ground, then just light it with a lighter, not a match. Well, you could light it with a match, but you'd have to throw the match in, unless you have. Okay, so like my fireplace, it's a gas stove or gas powered, and so pretty much what you do is you put the lighter in there and you already have it on, so you click it, you put it under right where the little holes are where the gas is, and you barely open the gas, and then the gas will like go phoom. And so if you turn on the gas a lot and then do that, you're gonna like scorch your hand. So just go close to the fire, and then the key, like there should be one on the ground or near the fireplace, and you turn it just a bit, like slowly by slowly, until you hear something, and then you put the fire closer, and then it should go small, and then you can turn it up however big you want it. But if you're a young kid, or not an adult, not 18 years or older, I wouldn't do a gas stove without permission, unless you're living by yourself or something. But yeah. So how to treat a fire wound with aloe vera very much helps, and it also helps 10 times more if you have an aloe vera plant in your house, and let's say you get a burn from a flame. Now, okay, so you have to understand, a burn from a flame is going to be way different than a burn from if you like put your hand on the frying pan in an accident. Like, I have a scar somewhere from where my friend, he was lifting up the frying pan. It's not Evan in my other videos, like my pool, and that's not that. He was spending the night, and then so we woke up and we cooked eggs, and then as he was picking up the frying pan, he turned, and the edge of the pan just like scorched my hand there, and it makes a mark. It's gonna burn. But with a fire, and you put your hand close to it, and you can leave it for probably about like 3 to 4 seconds comfortably. That's about 130 degrees, and that's gonna be like, I can't even fit it in the frame that far away, and it may be like 4 or 5 feet away. So if it's that hard to leave it for 3 to 4 seconds, and if you get closer, it's gonna go into your hand. Now, heat, it gets trapped under your skin because your skin is a very good insulator for heat. So it's a blanket, that's what blankets are for, to insulate your skin and keep, like, it's like another layer holding heat in. That's what keeps us warm when we have blankets. And so you can put it under cold water, but it helps first if you get one from the fire and you're out camping. And then I'll do it at home first. And you're out camping. If you're in a nearby stream, stick your hand in there and just leave it there for a few minutes. Make sure there's not some crawdads in there that bite your fingers. But if you don't get access to any water, and you can just like slowly pour it on it. If you do it real fast, it's going to irritate the skin, which it already is, and it's going to damage nerves underneath even deeper because it's kind of pushing the heat in there. So if you're at home and you got to burn from the burner or from the fire in your backyard, front yard, whatever you want to do, fire pit, fireplace, then you want to run it under the spigot or faucet, whatever you want to call it, for as long as you can, so you want to run it under until you can kind of rub it and ress on it, and without it hurting too bad. And then what you can do is get some aloe vera, but aloe vera is really only used for if you get an actual burn, like it scorches your skin, where you can see the mark where it burnt it, and it kind of shrivels up the skin. That's what scorching is. And so that helps a lot. And then also just getting some cooling lotion, or there's this thing that I used. I had a really bad sunburn. I was peeling for a long time. I had a really bad sunburn, and what we used is this stuff called cooling gel, and it's made like aloe vera and like a bunch of other stuff like water, lotion. It's like a type of like sunscreen by Sunbum, not sponsored. Since I'm urgent about that, I'm not sponsored by Sunbum, but it's really nice, and yeah, you can use that on your back when you get a sunburn too. So just another tip. And so if you'd like to see more stuff about learning about nature and survival and a bunch of other stuff, let me know. Also, give me some ideas in the description so I can make some more videos for you. But now for the people that are not subscribed to me and are just looking for information, then you can just like leave the video now. So bye, thanks for watching. If you would like, subscribe, watch my other videos, then subscribe. You know, you just press a button and then that's it. And it gives me a number. I want a number. Can you give me a number? Okay. Anyways, yeah. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, leave me some ideas in the description so I can make you guys happier by watching some of my videos and at least giggling a bit. So yeah, I always say if you giggled a bit, press the little red button that happens to say subscribe, and give me a number and you won't lose anything. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video, which should be bird hunting in Arizona. So yeah, bye bye.